Welcome, dear listener. Tonight we will walk slowly into a very old tale, one that turns as gently as the year itself. The tale of Persephone. Nothing here will rush you. Nothing here will ask you to try. Let the day place itself behind you like a coat upon a quiet chair. Allow your shoulders to settle, your jaw to loosen, the space behind your eyes to grow wide and cooled. Take a soft breath in and let it go. Again, a soft breath in and out. If any thought arrives with busy feet, let it pass across the mind like a small cloud across a large, patient sky. The story will carry you. You may listen closely or drift and return, as tides do. Either way, you are held. We begin at the edge of spring, where the world speaks in a low, kind voice. Spring meadow. It begins with green. Not the loud green of noon in midsummer, but the tender, misty green of beginnings. Grass bends easily under pearls of dew. Each drop is a round mirror holding a slip of pale sky. Somewhere nearby a stream finds its first sentences, stitching stone to stone with silver thread. Air moves in long, unhurried strokes, lifting a leaf, smoothing a strand of hair, turning the light a little warmer. Persephone walks there. She is not late. She is not early. She is simply in time. Her hands trail over the heads of flowers, as though she is greeting old friends who have slept and now open their eyes. She kneels, and the ground sighs, not with effort, but with relief that a promise has been kept. The first blossom breaks like a quiet smile. Another follows, and another, as if the meadow is remembering a language it always knew. Birds write soft curves in the air. Their notes are invitations rather than orders. Wake slowly, wake kindly. Wake only when you are ready. You may notice your breath, learning the meadow in and out, as gentle as the wind that combs the grass. The body takes its cue from the earth, not forced, not measured, simply willing to open at its own pace. The sky wears an uncomplicated blue. Clouds drift like ideas that do not need to be solved. Even the shadows beneath the trees are tender. Their edges are rounded, their silence friendly. You lie down and the ground receives you. It does not ask you to qualify for rest. It treats you as one of its own. That spring does not argue its case, that it unfolds, petal by petal. Breath by breath up Persephone's footfall is a metronome of this unfurling. Steady, considerate, certain. If your thoughts wander, allow them. Thoughts or weather, you are the countryside they pass over. They move on. You remain. Let the chest rise as a hill and fall as a valley. Let the belly be soft as loam that has drunk the rain. Here and there the meadow keeps its small secrets. The shine upon the back of a beetle, the brittle sweetness of last year's leaf, a feather caught in young clover. To notice them is pleasant. To miss them is also pleasant. Nothing is required. A small pause for the body. Before the tale goes on, give your body a kindness. Let your brow smooth. Let the tongue rest like a small boat upon a still lake. Unknit the hands. Place them wherever they feel most untroubled. Imagine your spine as a row of lanterns, each one dimming to a soft, steady glow. Breath gathers itself in the belly, and each exhale rinses the day from the ribs down. You are safe to be simple. You are allowed to be quiet. The meadow that remembers. Persephone's laughter is not loud. It is the sound a gate makes when it opens onto a garden. Where she stands, the world remembers its craft. Seeds loosen their shoulders. Roots read old maps and send news upwards. It is time. It is timed. She walks along a path the color of warm straw. Ants move with important calm. A lark stitches height to height with invisible thread. I in the hedgerow. Blackthorn arranges its careful stars. If the mind wishes for meaning, the meadow offers one both simple and complete. Life returns because returning is its way. If the mind wishes for no meaning at all, the meadow agrees. It is enough to breathe and watch the light turn leaves to coins. Demeter's waiting. Above and beyond the meadow stands Demeter, mother and teacher fields. Her hands are full of useful knowledge, when to scatter, when to gather, when to let the ground be ground and not a schedule. She watches Persephone as a lantern watches a traveler, not to hurry, only to accompany. Demeter knows waiting as a craft. She knows that the earth does not love clocks. It loves circles. She can read a hill the way a sailor reads wind. She can hear the future in the soft grammar of rain against the barn roof. In the quiet months, she walks the furrows, not to reprimand the soil, but to praise it for its patience. She rests her palm upon the flank of a hay bale and listens to the slow breath of stored sunlight. She counts nothing, yet she forgets nothing. What looks like idleness is attention with its shoes off. When Demeter thinks of Persephone, she does not clutch at time. Love that clutches bruises. Her love is a shawl laid across a chair, warm whenever it is needed. She tells the fields, the child of spring will go and will return. This is not loss. This is a hinge a year turns upon. And the fields, relieved, stop pretending there must be summer every day. Sometimes she speaks aloud to the furrows. The words are plain, but the earth hears poetry in their steadiness. Rest well, store your sweetness, gather yourself in the dark. I will be here when you wake. The robin hops, cocks his head, agrees. Demeter keeps a kettle that never hurries. Steam rises like a white ribbon that has forgotten to be formal. She pours, she waits, she breathes. Waiting is not empty. It is a room made ready. At dusk she steps outside, and the barns breathe with her. Cattle turn their heavy pages of sleep. The dog dreams with gentle paws. The fields lie broad and undecorated beneath the sky, and Demeter is glad of their honesty, a gentle meditation on waiting. If you wish, rest your attention upon the craft Demeter knows that. Let the jaw unhook. Let your eyes rest low in their sockets as coins in a velvet purse. Place imaginary warmth in the palms, the way a cup gathers tea. With the next inhalation, feel the belly round like a well-fed field. With the next exhalation, feel the back lengthen as a furrow set true. Say within very softly, I am allowed to wait. Say within, what is mine will return in its season. Say within, I am not late for my own life. The breath continues. Unforced, useful, kind. Nothing spectacular happens, which is the finest kind of blessing, that the thread between them. Persephone in the meadow, Demeter at the field's edge. A thread runs between them, not a rope to pull, but a line to feel that IT hums with the ordinary holiness of daily bread. IT says, I am here, IT says. I am here too. IT says nothing else because nothing else is needed. Sometimes the thread carries laughter, the light conversational kind that folds towels and opens gates. Sometimes the thread carries quiet, not the worried sort, the resting sort. Sometimes it carries nothing you can name, only the peace of being known. You might notice a thread like that in your own life, a person, a place, a practice. And if you do not, there is no lack. The breath can be that thread. The mattress can be that field. The sky can be that mother who never hurries you indoors. That closing of part A. Evening gathers its soft tools. A cooler light, a longer shadow, a nearer star. The meadow keeps breathing. Demeter keeps keeping. Persephone keeps walking without wearing the grass thin. You do not need to hold any of this tightly. Let it sit beside you the way a cat sits, undemanding, content to exist. Take one more easy breath. If sleep wishes to arrive, it will arrive by the door it favors, through the hands or the feet or the crown of the head like warm rain. If wakefulness remains, that too is welcome. You are not behind schedule. The story will be here when you returned. Part B will lead us further, into the rooms where silence learns to sing. But for now, the light is kind, and the world is already enough. When Persephone steps across the unseen threshold, the world does not close behind her. It folds itself softly, like a curtain drawn by a careful hand. The underworld does not crush with darkness. It lowers its voice. The light here is not absent, only subdued, as though it has chosen to whisper instead of sing. Colors do not flee. They retreat into deeper versions of themselves, green settling into moss, gold becoming amber, crimson turning wine dark. The air is cool but not unfriendly. It moves like a slow tide within a cavern, patient, without rushed. Halls open one into another. Their arches do not command. They invite. Shadows have no edges. They pour gently into corners like warm water poured into a clay bowl. Fires glow without crackle. Their flames breathe with steady patience, as though time itself feeds them. Persephone walks and silence greets her, not empty silence, but silence alive with secret song that if you listen, you may hear it too, a low, endless chord beneath everything, woven of patience, woven of stillness. It is the kind of sound that does not insist you hear it, yet once you notice, you realize it has always been there, like your own breathing, like your own heartbeat, like the earth itself, steady and ancient beneath your rest. V, the queen of stillness. They call her queen here. But Persephone does not rule with iron. Her crown is not a sharp metal. It is woven of time, and her throne is patience carved from stone smooth by centuries. She rules not with decree, but with presence. She sits, and the halls soften. She closes her eyes, and silence deepens into comfort. Her power is not thunder. It is the quiet authority that says, rest is holy, sleep is strength, waiting is not weakness, but preparation. In her presence, grief lays down its load. Longing curls itself gently and rests. Fear ceases its trembling and learns the slow grammar of breathing. If you have brought burdens into this night, you may set them down now. Place them at her feet in your mind. Watch them lose their sharpness. See them dissolve into the ground. The earth does not discard them. It changes them. What was heavy becomes seed. What was sorrow becomes root. What was fear becomes soil from which courage may rise one day. Take a breath for what you have carried. Take a breath for what now carries you. Take a breath for what needs no longer be carried at all. Persephone smiles not as a conqueror, but as a keeper of rest. Her gaze says, you are safe. You are kept. You are allowed to sleep. 6. Messages from roots and rain. Above, the world learns quiet. Forests strip themselves bare, not in shame but in wisdom. Their branches are bones offered to the sky, patient, clear, honest. Fields stretch themselves into stillness, covered in frost that glitters like tiny lanterns. Animals curl in dens, their breathing lesson for all of us. Slow, steady, sure. Snow falls, not as punishment, but as blessing. It lays itself gently across the earth like a blanket folded by kind hands. Rain falls, too, and when it does, it carries messages upward. letters written in the rounded script of roots. They say, what sleeps is not lost. What rests is not wasted. What waits is becoming. Persephone hears these letters with her whole body. She knows that dormancy is not death. She knows seeds dream in their shells, and that the dark is simply the womb of the next green. And you, too, may know this as you breathe, since the same message is rising in you. You are safe. You are allowed to rest. Nothing is lost. Everything is kept. Let the words move through you as slowly as rain through soil. Let them nourish you invisibly, silently, faithfully. 7. The turning that keeps its promise. There is always a turning. Not because you demand it, not because time owes it, but because the cycle is true to itself. One day, as all days eventually do, Persephone hears her name. It is not thunder. It is not a shout. It is the faint, inevitable chime of a far-off bell. The earth above whispers, come. She rises along the path she once descended. Each step carries change. Cool air becomes mild, mild becomes warm. Shadows loosen, the soil lightens, as though even the stones are smiling. 8. The first green breath. The first green does not arrive all at once. It drifts in, quiet as a sigh, gentle as breath after long stillness. At first it is only a pale shimmer across the fields, a faint wash of color that seems almost imagined. But slowly, tenderly, it deepens. The stems stretch upward, blades uncurl, buds swell until they tremble with the weight of their own awakening. It is not a sudden miracle. It is a patient rehearsal, a return carefully written across every branch, every blade, every stone warmed by the returning sun. The meadows hum softly with this new green, not loudly, not insistently, but as if the world itself is breathing again after a long-held pause. It is a breath drawn deep and slow. It is a breath released with relief. Streams break free of their icy shells. The silver voices return, rippling down the slopes, their laughter echoing in little pools and corners where the water pauses to admire itself. The air is new, yet ancient, familiar in its promise. You can almost taste its sweetness, like honey thinned with rain. Birds return in measured waves. Point one arrives and sings. Another follows and answers, then dozens more, each weaving its voice into the tapestry of the sky, reminding the earth that joy is not forgotten. Persephone walks, her presence a gentle summons. Where she passes, blossoms lean toward her. Where she pauses, wildflowers lift their heads, the world recognizing her as its keeper of rhythm. You may breathe with her. Inhale softly, as if drinking the green light of morning. Exhale gently, as if giving that light back to the trees. Each breath a circle, each breath a season, each breath a promise that nothing ends, but only changes its shape. 9. The meadow after words. The meadow is full again, yet it is not the same meadow. Winter has left its quiet wisdom folded in the soil. Spring has returned with its tender music. Together they weave something new, something both old and never before seen. The grass sways taller now. Its head's heavy with dew that glitters like stars dropped to earth. Flowers with their colors boldly, yet not with arrogance, with gratitude, as though they know how precious their return is. You lie back among them. The earth receives you without question. It does not measure your worth. It does not tally your effort. It simply holds you, warm where the sun touches, cool where the shade covers, always steady beneath. Above, the sky flows slowly. Clouds form, shift, dissolve. They do not hurry their shapes. They arrive, they change, they depart. Your thoughts may do the same. They do not need to be held. They do not need to be pushed away. They are simply whether across the wide sky of your being that your body belongs here. Your breath is a wind moving over tall grass. Your heart is a hidden root, steady and unseen. Your blood is a quiet stream beneath the soil. Your rest is a meadow itself, patient, generous, undemanding that. The meadow is not a place you visit. IT is a place you remember, a place that remembers you. And even if you forget in the hours of daylight, it waits. IT always waits. X, a soft litany for sleep. Now, as night spreads its cool cloth over the land once more, you may lean into the comfort of simple words. They are not instructions. They are not obligations. They are offerings gentle and sufficient. I am safe. I am carried. I am allowed to rest. The earth breathes, and I breathe with it. What sleeps in me is not lost. IT is kept. IT is kept. IT is kept. When it is time to rise, I will know. Until then, I am free to be quiet. Repeat them if you wish, or let them echo within you without effort. Each phrase a pebble dropped into a still pond, its ripples spreading wider, wider, until they fade into peace. You may linger with them as long as you need. They will not vanish. They are as patient as stars. They are as faithful as seasons. They will be here tomorrow and the next night and the night after that. 11, the long closing. Night gathers, but it does not press. IT comes as a cloak carefully laid across your shoulders. IT is stitched from moth wings, lined with the silk of silence, hemmed with the faint glitter of stars. Persephone keeps her quiet watch. Her watch is not fierce. IT is gentle, the way a mother watches a child sleep, the way the moon keeps the sea company, present, steady, without demand. Your body knows this language. IT lowers itself. IT unwinds. IT remembers how to let go. Every bone finds its place. Every muscle loosens its hold. The day unhooks itself from you, like a garment slipping easily from tired shoulders. If a thought knocks at your door, let the house of your mind answer. We are sleeping now. Return when morning wears her golden shoes. The thought, polite and understanding, will turn and leave. The story, too, does not end. It only closes the night. Tomorrow or another season, you may open it again and it will greet you differently, because both you and the story will have changed. That is the way of all living things. Never fixed, always flowing, always returning death. For now, there is no need for effort and no need for achievement. You are not behind. You are not late. You are simply here, resting in the rhythm that carries all things. Let the last remnants of the day drain from you like water from cupped hands. Let the first strands of sleep curl around you like mist rising from a quiet lake. Let the silence fold itself around you, not heavy, not strict, but soft, warm, certain. You are safe. You are carried. You are held by the same earth that holds the roots, the same air that holds the clouds, the same rhythm that turns the seasons without failing. Rest now, as Persephone rests, as the fields rest, as the stars rest in their dark cradled. Sleep well, beloved traveler. Dream kindly, and know that, like Persephone, you too are always kept, always safe, always return to the light.